Raj is saying, Dean, I want to discuss one thing. I am doing quite fine, and recently I increased capital, and the day I did it, I faced two losses. Then I took one long trade which worked out fine but got out early due to exhaustion. But it turned into absorption close near the highs. I could have been 2% win if I held on to the trade through. It sort of damaged my confidence. Somehow to deal in such scenarios when where we face loss the moment we increase capital. See, it's all in your mind. Unfortunately, there is no better way to put it. Has it happened with me? Absolutely. Has it happened that I increase the capital and I start facing losses? Yes. Do I hit a losing streak? Yes. Focus on the process and start thinking in terms of percentages. Forget about the absolute numbers. If you have 10 lakh capital, you make it 20. It's a 100% increase in capital. Your capital has increased 100%. How much do you think your risk has increased? Nothing. It still remains the same in terms of percentage. The moment you become comfortable with, say, risking 0.5% per trade, don't look into the calculations. Make an Excel sheet where you put in all these details. 0.5% capital, 1% risk, 0.5% risk. Based on the amount of risk, fine. Based on the amount of risk, the number of lots based on the stop loss. So you should have one column of the amount of percentage risk you are taking. It should be fixed 0.5, 1%, 1.5, 2%, 4%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is. Then there is a column for stop loss. So based on your calculation, let's say the stop loss comes at 50 points. You enter that 50 points. As soon as you enter that 50 points, the Excel sheet should give you how many lots for 0.5% risk, how many lots for 1% risk, how many lots for 10% risk, so on and so forth. Then you know that, okay, I can only take two lots. And if the stop loss is hit, 0.5% of my capital will be gone. You're okay with it. Take those two lots, take the trade, put all the numbers, stop losses, all the orders, everything. If it works out, great. If it does not work out, move on to the next trade. What happens is you get used to the profit and loss numbers. So you're okay making 5,000 profit, but you're not okay making 10,000 profit because it's a psychological barrier. Because the moment you start making 10,000, you again think about start losing 10,000. So forget about that. Start thinking in terms of percentages, and that should solve this issue for you in due course of time. Because obviously somewhere back in the mind, I mean, you cannot fool yourself that bad. Back in the mind, you know that you have increased capital, your profit and loss numbers will be greater. But if you don't look at them continuously, you won't be bothered much. So in that Excel sheet, hide everything else. Just keep the percentage column open, and next to that, the number of lots. That's it. Or number of shares, whatever you are trading. That should help.